for the perfect beat. Searching for the perfect beat. Looking for the perfect beat. Seeking for the perfect beat. I must get mine. About to get it.
Rap was always here. You know, it was from way back in the time when God talked to Adam, Moses, all the prophets, he was rapping to them. When you have the Caesar and all them, when they ended talking about "Thou art forsaken me" and stuff, they were rhyming in their time. And even when you had Shakespeare and all that, he was rapping and rhyming in his time. So rap was always here.
Young blacks in the Bronx had evolved a distinctive style of breakdancing and street graffiti known as hip-hop, with a soundtrack provided by local DJs like Bambaataa. In classic hip-hop style, he himself had once been a member of a local street gang, the Black Spades, and he never forgot the political struggles black leaders had fought in the 60s.
What I did is took all these elements from all these great leaders and teachers that we had at that time in the 60s and said that when I get of age, I would start a group called the Zulu Nation from seeing this movie back in the early 60s called Zulu, and it will incorporate all these different ideas and ideologies to do something for the people, to uplift the people, black, brown, yellow, red, and white, dealing with the truth, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on anything that's everything.
Bambaataa wanted to create a new sound for the Zulu Nation he had formed.
For I love no other one but you. Come on down and let her know that you love her so, and maybe that you never let her go. You can be so and so baby.
There was an old reggae tradition of DJs talking and singing over records as they played them. In the late 70s, this was brought to the Bronx by a Jamaican immigrant, DJ Kool Herc, who started doing it at street parties. Bambaataa was quick to follow his example.
With myself, I came right behind the brother, and I started picking up on all the different music that I was having in my record collection.
Bambaataa's choice of records to play was particularly unusual. The German group Kraftwerk had been experimenting with a computer-driven electronic sound. Although they had had some chart success with Autobahn, they were still largely considered a novelty act. Now their music found a new home in the black urban clubs of New York.
First I want to know who was these funky white boys from Germany that had this futuristic sound. When I first heard Trans Europe Express, I mean, I just went crazy and started getting it jammed at every party that we played in the Bronx. And it was the Zulu Nation that pushed the hell out that record that just caught on like hellfire with the black and Latino community. And I thought this would be the music for the future. So once I got into Trans Europe Express, I started digging up a lot of other Kraftwerk records like Robots, Autobahn. So I looked around and started saying, I don't see no black electronic groups. So when Kraftwerk came out with Numbers, I said, yeah, that's where the electro funk would come.
Taking inspiration from Jamaican DJs, Bambaataa remixed Kraftwerk to create Planet Rock, a track which would provide the blueprint for a whole new musical movement. It was created with the help of a budding producer who used the newly affordable technology of samplers, sequencers, and drum machines to the full.
It's hard for me to imagine music before Planet Rock, actually. When I moved to New York and started hanging out with Bam, Trans Europe Express was really one of his favorite records. And I think some of the reasons why, it was a drum machine. No rock groups and no soul groups really were using drum machines at that time. So the beat was really steady, they could mix to it, and it was an interesting sound. I mean, it was a different, really different sound.
You see.
Hip-hop had found its own distinctive musical voice.
This record, Kraftwerk, made my job easier. This record allowed me to go to the bathroom. This record allowed me to go get a soda. I can play it from and just go take a walk because it was funky. It didn't make sense to cut this record, to be DJing it. It DJ'd itself.
He say 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time.
Grandmaster Flash, along with Bambaataa, represented the start of a new phenomenon for the 80s. The DJ who could create hits as well as play them.
I would say I took an arrangement that was on wax and rearranged it. I took the particular pieces and parts and passages that I felt would keep the crowd in a frenzy. I guess I was just one big human sampler, so to speak. Once I was able to do that, I was able to start learning what I later called the acrobatics of doing the things I did on the turntable, which meant drop the record at the break part, push it out to the people, bend over, put it at the same section, and just keep constantly repeating it. You know, just wham, 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 wham.
The first track to really make an impact on the world outside the Bronx came in 1982. Far from the usual inanities about life on the disco floor, the message gave a chilling account of ghetto existence.
Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with a tow truck repossessed my car. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Unlike all the other established genres of music, they're confined, meaning that 8 times out of 10, there had to be a melody, right? And on top of the melody, the singer had to sing in a certain key. There was an intro, there was a chorus, there was a bridge. With hip-hop, that don't matter. You can sing off key. Our subject matters that we can talk about are almost unlimited. Musically speaking, we can take a piece of Frank Sinatra. We can take a piece of Led Zeppelin, a horn blast from James Brown, a horn blast from anywhere. If it's properly strung together, this was hip-hop.